Hello everyone, this is Jason Crow, and one of the major topics that I liked learning about was in chapter 13, talking about the fake news. And there's a lot of, information about fake news, and there's also been a lot of studies about how to identify it and how to get it and how to know that it was fake and who to trust and like how to trust and stuff like that. And that is mainly what this major chapter talked about, and that's what I mainly got from it. And that's what I love about it. There's a lot of ways people post fake news with social platforming, Facebook and X and Instagram and stuff like that. Um, they get information anywhere, everywhere, and so people can just get that information, listen to like a little bit of it, and then be like, oh yeah, this is the right information, guys. Like, I got this. And so one of the major, like, recent cases that I remember was the David case where he killed a 14-year-old girl, and then made a whole like his whole career out. Sorry, it's my cat. She made a whole like career out of it, and so he like people heard that information and started spreading all this news about him, and then people pick it up and they're like, oh yeah, like he's innocent, like he did nothing wrong, like he was literally like like his mom was an alcoholic at birth and stuff like that. And so they don't really like listen to the full like information, and so they just post it and without any evidence, and people listen to that and spread that information around without verifying. And then what social media platforms do is they listen to that and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make that the top post for this week or this like that day. And so stuff like the David post, like that was the top information if you're interested in that. And so without verifying, like hey, like there's so much information that is missing, and they're just posting like, hey, this is what happened without verifying, and it blows up, then that is what people will see most often. And so the problem that people have with social media is that people can post anything, and people can create anything with the tools that they have today. So people can create websites or posts that look like real news sources, and so now there's no editors or fact checkers that is required for that. There's also, in the book, it talks about how to identify fake news. It talks about checking the sources. Is it rebuttable? Is it reputable? Is it like liable? And can you see that information more than once, and do you see both sides of the story saying the same thing? Here's an example of a video that I found that I can show you.
This is when publication A publishes misinformation, publication B reprints it, and publication A then cites B as the source for the information. It's also considered a form of circular reporting when multiple publications report on the same initial piece of false information, which then appears to another author as having been verified by multiple sources. User-generated content, such as wikis, are also a common contributor to circular reporting. As more writers come to rely on such pages for quick information, an unverified fact in a wiki page can make its way into a published article that may later be added as a citation for the very same wiki information, making it much harder to debunk. Recent advances in communication technology have had immeasurable benefits in breaking down the barriers between information and people. But our desire for quick answers may overpower the desire to be certain of their validity. And when this bias can be multiplied by billions of people around the world nearly instantaneously, more caution is in order. Avoiding sensationalist media, searching for criticisms of suspicious information, and tracing the original source of a report can help slow down a lie. giving the truth more time to put on its shoes.
This is an article that I found, and maybe false news, but I don't know because it's about Lisa Kudrow saying that in her show with Friends that lasted 10 seasons, that she did not like it and that she regretted it, and how, like, saying that they were, mean and brutal off camera at times. It talks about how, like, they would be so mean to her, saying that, like, there's also talking about how Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox would have sexual fantasies, and how, like, she likes being on the show because of, like, her time with Matthew Perry, but she would never want to do it again because of the trauma that she had. But the only reason I did this article is because I found out that, or I think that this is kind of false news, because there's only, just her saying it, and it's by the TMZ staff, so they filtered it and, like, put it together so that, they made it seem like it was on her and just her saying all this stuff, and that she's the main problem with this whole thing. But yeah, this article is pretty weird, and I don't think this is also fake news. Isn't just about false stories. It's about the technology that goes with it, humans' behavior and feel, and the influence and power that people have towards, the subjects. Because you can have bajillion followers and say, like, hey, this is what I believe, and people will believe that because you're one of, like, a big influence. And so that's the main problem that people have with posting on social media, is that there's a lot of information that goes around, but not all information is credible. And that is why I like that subject, this subject, is because people need to I've realized that people need to, like, look at multiple sources, and people need to realize, like, hey, this stuff doesn't look credible, this stuff doesn't look real, and I need to, like, and this is why, type thing. I think this information that was given greatly explains that whatever piece that we talked about, whatever piece we saw, whatever piece, like, was discussed, or, like, for a project, is to use credible sources and use plenty of ideas, and think about the process and have your own opinions about the subject. Because the video talks about, hey, like, there's multiple ways to spot the fake media, and there's multiple news outlets out there, so you have to make sure that the news source you're looking at is credible and is the right source and can help you in the long run. And just, it helps you spot, and that's what helped me with the rest of this school year, and with the rest of these projects, and from now later on. And so, yeah. But all in all, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you all for watching, and see ya.